I done told you. Told
We done told you.
you. Say 2021. Start off with a bang. It's only the 6th. Yeah, it's already crazy.
We're literally never going back to normal.
Like they've been telling us. So I mean, they've been saying for the longest this is the new normal. Hell, even Childish Gambino told us this is America.
Right. New.
Today's just been a hot mess. It's been kind of entertaining too. I ain't even gonna lie. Just sitting back watching all this stuff. Like dead ass, I just stopped working at like 10:30 and was just putting TV the entire time until I got off work.
I know. I'm like, I know everyone's glued to their phones and their computers right now. But first off, weird intro, but welcome to Say Something Else podcast. Which usually, I thought you were gonna go back to it, but
No, not today. We had a whole show planned and everything. Spent the whole week coming up with it, fine tuning it this morning.
yeah,
Offer this type to happen and go out the window.
it was
But that's
actually
okay.
yeah, it was actually going to be like more of a lighthearted episode today, or just like some more general topics and not so much heavily focused on like negative stuff in the news, like just because we wanted to just get a break from that. But then this mess happened up in the Capitol building, so we had to talk about it now. So you can see I'm here reporting live from the Capitol building. You got these niggas climbing the wall. I'm looking around. And it looks like I am the only person of color here. It looks like I'm the only one that's been shot, but only my black side.
Ridiculous, because that was my exact thoughts when all this first started. I started watching it from Trump's rally this morning and seeing his son speak, and then Giuliani got on there and started speaking, and somebody else, and then Trump was on there. Then the feed cut off after his went off, and then I started getting all these Twitter alerts about the Capitol Hill being stormed. And I was like, what? I was trying to find it on YouTube, couldn't find no streams whatsoever. But I do remember quite vividly back in June and July, you can get on YouTube and there was countless amounts of live streams on all the Black Lives Matter protests and everything. Uh, Funny how they want to show that stuff. They don't want to show the whites going off and crazy.
They should have been. They definitely are showing it a bit more now, but not. I don't feel like it's the same degree. But at first, when it started happening, their language was definitely like, "Oh well, since they're white and Trump supporters, they're demonstrators and they're clashing with police." But I mean, I will be honest. The stuff, at least the broadcast I have on now on my TV that's live, they are like their language is changing more. They are condemning these people and not calling them protesters anymore. They're like rioters and what they're actually condemning their behavior. But I'm legit so livid right now. Like I'm not surprised, but I am angry and frustrated because everyone all over my feed is saying, okay, well if it was the opposite, if it was mostly minorities are protesting for social justice like the Black Lives Matter protests, they're already met with militarized police waiting for them. Like they were just on the streets of the Capitol by the Capitol building, and they had militarized police just waiting for them already. But now they have a shortage of police all of a sudden. I can tell you why. Because they're the same people.
Yeah, they're out there, Mark. They're the ones storming inside. Those are
They
your
took
cops.
a sick day. Half the police force took a sick day, a vacation day, to go march with their people because it's all the same. So many of the police we know are white supremacists, racist, Trump supporters. Like it's not a radical idea. It's literally just a thing that everyone knows now, and either you accept it or you're turning a blind eye to it.
Yeah, and another funny thing to me, because like I said, I was watching it live, and towards the tail end of Trump's rally, they had a side by side, picture in picture of Pence, in his conference as well when he was rejecting to overturn the election stuff. And I was thinking that somebody's gonna come on stage and tell Trump, but nobody did. And he was all talking about, let's go to Capitol Hill. This fool got in a limo and went back to the White House. Meanwhile, everybody else, there's already people there
Exactly.
waiting. So none of this stuff even happened until the news came out about Pence, and then that's when Trump started tweeting about Pence and everything else, and then stuff just started going downhill from there. But the funny thing is, like you said, when it's black people, they got those big rubber bullets that's like this thick, popping people in the forehead and stuff. I've seen it. I watch all this stuff on Twitter when it happened. And they have pepper spray. They got people who wasn't even part of the protest getting jacked up and snatched. And it's just frustrating to see people, the white people, that are at the protest, if you want to call it a protest. Uh, the police, they play fighting with them. They're not even pushing them hard. They're like just barely pushing them like that. They're like acting like they're gonna do something when nobody does anything. It's like, how do you not see this is acting and they're all on the same team? It's like this is
It's
all
funny how all of a sudden. It's funny how all of a sudden now the police know how to show restraint.
Exactly.
Why all of a sudden?
And I seen people out there with objects. They didn't have guns or anything like that I've seen, but they had other stuff. But it's funny how none of that stuff got mistaken for a pistol.
Yeah,
like black people.
Mm-hmm. And like I'm not saying every single cop is a racist or a bad cop in that way, but it's not just a few bad apples. People need to wake up. It's way more than a few bad apples. The system is meant for this. Like, this is just another example of white supremacy and racism at work. Like, people educate yourselves. The history of the police in this country was never meant to protect everybody. It was created to catch runaway slaves. First and foremost, that's why it was created in America. Not to uphold laws. They were created to catch runaway slaves. So the whole foundation, just like this country, is built on racism.
And technically, it never got abolished in the first place. They just transferred it to prison.
Right, exactly.
And that's funny because that just was amended or something like that, like a couple of months ago in 2020. And y'all want to talk about y'all abolished slavery in the 1800s? No.
It's just so annoying because like all of a sudden, all the people that were condemning the rioting and the looting for the Black Lives Matter protests, they're crickets now. Y'all ain't got nothing to say. Well, y'all taking a nap out there? Y'all ain't got nothing to say? Like, it's the same thing going on. Like, they're looting. They're taking podiums and stuff. They're, like, going into people's computers there. Like, they're stealing stuff. They're breaking windows. They're literally making a day of it. They're just hanging out in there.
Yeah, and I got all this stuff. I can make a scrapbook from just today alone because I got pictures of them breaking into Nancy Pelosi's office, and they got her laptop sitting right there with her email open. I got the picture.
Yep.
I see pictures of people posing in the chairs, taking pictures, and then I seen other pictures with the cops with their guns drawn. They know they weren't gonna shoot nobody in the first place.
They ain't gonna shoot nobody.
I seen them when they stormed and broke the windows in to get in, and the cops inside didn't do a damn thing. Right. They were able to go upstairs. I seen some people going upstairs. One person literally wandered upstairs by himself. There's nobody there. Where's all the security at all the other times? They got it like Fort Knox down there.
Yep.
All of a sudden today, ain't nobody show up to patrol nothing.
Right.
And then got Trump, or there was reports about the National Guard being called in, and then like 2 minutes later, like literally, they were saying that it's denied that they were being called in. And then like 45 minutes later, Trump says that he called in the National Guard. First he said he supports them. He's telling them not to be destructive and stuff like that. Like, he's just playing both sides.
Both sides. This is what, look, people don't want to listen to me, but this is what he's always done, is playing both sides. He plays one side stronger if you really listen, and then he plays the other side as well. But it's just to cover his tracks, just so they can do the both angles, because his followers clearly cannot see that they're being played.
Yeah.
He's just using y'all. He's just using you guys. Like, it's so frustrating because he's inciting the violence. He's like spreading the lies about the election being a fraud, which it wasn't. Nothing was stolen. And he's inciting their violence and all their passion. He like is inciting them to go there and do this. He knows that this was going to happen.
Yeah, they all knew this was going to happen.
He said for months that he's not going to do a transition of power peacefully. It's not going to be peaceful. So
he said today that he's never going to concede.
Right. And he said it's not going to be a peaceful transition. Well, you see now, this ain't peaceful, and his doing.
I've been telling you personally, not you, but just telling the people that stuff like this is going to happen. They've been telling you. Trump been telling you. Everybody's been telling you. So there's no reason to not be prepared. This is just the beginning, like he's been saying. He said that several times today. This is just the beginning. If
you listen to his speech, especially today, this is probably one of his most like insane speeches at his rallies. It was like completely like we're in the dark ages, like Nazi times, because if you like listen to what he says, like he's not that much far off from like fascist dictators. Like he's literally playing every tactic in the playbook. Like I caught it back in the day when he was first running. I was like, okay, this guy's like, he wants to be a dictator. Like the way he acts is like he is completely demonizing anyone who is against him or doesn't support him. They're not just people who have different opinions. They're evil. Like that's what he called them evil. And you see how he addressed the people like, oh, go home. We love you. You're very special. we love you, but please don't do this. Oh, why the change in energy? When it was Black Lives Matter, oh, everyone was a traitor, instigator, evil. But they don't want to acknowledge that most of the time the violence started with the police. It was police violence. People were standing there not doing anything, and they literally got shot with tear gas, rubber bullets, ran over.
And speaking of violence, I seen just before we started, I think it's like maybe about an hour ago, right when I was getting off work, that there was a woman that was shot. They said in the neck, like the neck and the shoulder area, and it was like on live TV too. They're like at the Capitol Hill, they're talking, and then you see the police like rolling the lady out on a stretcher, and you can see blood just like everywhere, like around her neck area. But I was trying to find out if that was like one of the protesters or if that was like one of the law enforcement. And the last thing I saw said it was one of the law enforcement people, but that's not verified. So it's sad that somebody had to get shot, even if it's a police person or a protester. It's what are we doing? Like,
No one wants it to happen, but it's not surprising that this happened. Like, it's all been in the works. Like, it's not surprising. It's also frustrating, and also it's not surprising, but frustrating that a bunch of his supporters are people that aren't even Trump supporters that condemn the riots and the protesting when it was Black Lives Matter. All of a sudden, they have nothing to say, and if they do have something to say, they're supporting it. Like, I know someone that I was showing their posts, and when it was Black Lives Matter, they condemned it. It was so disgusting. This is not America. You're destroying America. But once these people are destroying the Capitol building, they're like, "Oh, I wish I could go. Wish I was there. It's going down. Yay, Trump."
That's somebody's dog. I don't know what the hell. It's probably a Chihuahua. They all sound like that. But yeah, it's just crazy. I know the protests and everything.
I didn't interrupt you, but it's honestly disgusting. To me, I'm disgusted with people like that because when people are protesting and angry about people being murdered and nothing happening to their murderers because they're just police, or the justice system not doing anything, and like clear racism and murders happening, that's disgusting to protest. But when your little president lost an election fair and square, that's okay. Let's tear things up because of that. Like, it's disgusting. It's honestly gross. Gross.
Oh,
even the people that weren't Trump supporters that were like still had something to say about the Black Lives Matter issue. Where y'all at now? It's crickets all of a sudden. Like, the willingness people in this country will go to defend white supremacy is disgusting, honestly.
Yeah, it's funny because I remember a tweet. I want to say it's back in like July from President Trump when he was talking about any federal property or that's destroyed or anything like that, then the people should be prosecuted for up to 10 years in prison.
Yeah. Sure did.
I'm pretty sure you're not going to keep that same energy for the people who just did
You're
this.
not gonna keep it because he was even referencing that in his speech right before they went to the Capitol building. He was even talking about that before that. That's not going to happen. People like that, that's why they're so comfortable doing this, because they know the system was meant to protect them and vilify everyone else. They already know how it works. So that's why I already saw police were just letting them walk out, just letting them go.
Yeah.
See, this is why people say abolish the police. They didn't do shit. They're not doing anything.
It's just a mess. Where do we go from here? Oh, that was one more thing. There's another report. I'm not sure if I posted it to my Facebook page or not, but there was reports that there was an explosive found. Hold on, let me pull it up on my phone real quick.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, I posted this about an hour ago. It's 2:54 Texas time, saying that there's an explosive device found at the RNC headquarters. The DNC is being evacuated after a suspicious package was found. So we still got a week and a half, 2 weeks left to go before Inauguration Day. They're still not finished with this mess.
They're probably going to keep it going after Inauguration Day.
Well, if they do, that's the thing. If it does keep going after that, then he won't even be president anymore.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, because I posted a couple articles about this a while back. If everything's not settled and he's not inaugurated by Inauguration Day, then the Speaker of the House, I think they vote and then for who's going to become like the acting president. There's a lot of people talking about Nancy Pelosi being president and stuff like that. But it's just a mess, man. This is probably just a preview of what's to come. I wouldn't be surprised though. I know there's little reports of here and there of him thinking about considering doing martial or declaring martial law. I'm pretty sure that might be coming pretty soon. Like we hate Earth. I would say this all the time. I hate her. I hope now y'all see why I hate Earth.
Y'all, America is ghetto and Earth is ghetto. I really hate it here sometimes. Like,
oh, everyone, nobody say nothing about black people being ghetto ever again in my life because I'm pointing them back to January 6, 2021 if they do.
And look at the photo behind me. Y'all see them climbing a wall? The irony that they're the ones that wanted the wall to be built, but now y'all climbing a wall.
Like they stupid as hell. Stupid as stupid does. I just can't. There's like nothing else to say about Trump supporters anymore. I can't.
You know, hopefully this is like for a while. This is just like their swan song. Like they just don't want to. They're not ready to give up. But like y'all just need to accept that y'all lost. Y'all defeated. Like I know like Earth, like life goes in cycles and history just repeats itself. But I do see a change. Like people are more aware of this. Like people are not letting it slide. At least like people like us are not letting things like this slide. And they know they're losing their privileges. They know we're not going to take this issue anymore. And, you know, they're scared about it.
Yeah, time's up.
Sorry about it, BB girl.
Time's up, bitch.
Time's up, you racist white bitches.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep an eye on stuff that's happening tonight. Hopefully nothing else crazy happens tonight or in the next week or so. Just hope for the best, but ain't looking too good.
It's not, but you know, we can just hope for the best. Hopefully this is, you know, squashed soon and things can get back to somewhat normal. But y'all, this is literally, we're 6 days into 2021.
This could be one of those rare sequels that's better than the original.
Stupid. No, I don't think so. This is gonna be one of those sequels that tries to do too much. It's not as good as
bigger, badder, bolder.
The deaths have to be crazier. The action has to be wilder. No, it's gonna be one of those bad sequels that y'all just doing too much.
But yeah, with all the turmoil going on right now, if I was in another country that had beef with America, bro, this is the perfect time to just swoop in and tear us the fuck up. Like honestly, or the fake aliens want to come do their little invasion or whatever. This would be a perfect time. Just saying.
See, watching this play out right now, I'm like, are we in a video game? Like, I feel like we're in like The Sims or something like that.
Oh, thank you for saying that because there was actually, I don't know if you remember, there was some documents that were declassified and let go towards the middle to late last year. That pretty much said they were in a simulation. It was like a whole bunch of stuff. I'm gonna find it for you and post it on there.
Okay.
At this point, I wouldn't doubt this literally is the Matrix.
I get a cheat code because I'm sick of this.
I'm trying to get up out of here.
Kelly's be rich and live in
the. But anyway, that's all I have for today. Like I said, I'll keep an eye on stuff that's going on. We apologize for not having our regular shows today, but we both just felt that today was not that day to do that.
Right. So, yeah, it's definitely like a shorter episode, a little special episode, if you want to say, because we really did have all our topics aligned. We had our hot takes again, had some fun topics, but it was probably right to just at least cover this. Like, even though we're not talking about anything new, like, let's have our perspective on what's happening now. It would kind of feel weird if we were just having a regular show while all this is going on.
Like they say, read the room.
Right, read the room. Act right.
So yeah, we'll definitely be back next week. As long as nothing else like this happens next week, we'll have our regular show. Please don't forget to hit the like button so that way we can get into the recommended videos so we can get our podcast out to other people. I know there's tons of other podcasts that give out information too, but ours is probably better. But
it's definitely better. No, but yeah, please hit the like button, subscribe. This is our first week trying to really push YouTube more to be our like main platform. So like, share, subscribe, all that.
Yeah, so we thank everybody who watches every week and comments. We love y'all. Thank y'all. Keep it up, and we'll keep it up too.
And if you're just joining into the podcast, this is your first time watching, you can head to the Say Something Else podcast page on Facebook and watch all of our a few of our previous episodes and stuff like that. So you get a feel for what we're about.
Yep, definitely. All right, well, that's gonna do it for this week. Signing out. Boy Rick Grease. It's your boy Dry.
Bye.
Bye.
Watch Black is King on Disney Plus.
And strap it up, baby girl. Literally.